This is ABC15 Mornings.
The coronavirus mutates again.
It's a very stressful situation.
But more vaccine doses are coming.
This is a critical step to provide the public with convenient, trusted places to get vaccinated in their communities.
More than 20,000 appointments open within hours.
Plus, how protected are you after getting a vaccine, and who's responsible for the slow rollout? This hour, an ABC15 Health Insider Town Hall to get your questions answered.
Yes, we've got a lot to get to here in the 6 o'clock hour of ABC 15 Mornings. First, we say thank you for waking up with us. We appreciate it. Kaylee O'Kelly here in studio, and in the Breaking News Center, our Nick Saletti.
Yeah, we say good morning to you. We're very excited to bring you that ABC 15 Health Insider Town Hall today, taking action to answer your questions about this vaccine with our Health Insider experts. We'll get to that in just a second, but first, let's talk about that most accurate forecast. Meteorologist Iris Hermosillo standing by right now. She's social distancing from home with a quick check of that forecast. Nice morning to start, Iris.
It really is pretty mild as we kick off the day under a lot of cloud cover again. And believe it or not, some of these thicker clouds are managing to squeeze out a few raindrops in parts of the valley. Again, minimal rain chances as you get ready to head out the door and through the day today. Aside from what we're seeing this morning, I expect dry conditions. But this morning, again, a few sprinkles moving through the north and northwest valley around Glendale and up by Deer Valley. Some of this may not even be making it to the ground, but you may get a few on your windshield as you drive into work. Otherwise, temperatures in the mid 60s. Right now it's 65 degrees in Phoenix, so pretty mild start to what's going to be another very warm day. Our high just shy of 80 today, up to 79 degrees. But we do have a cold front coming in. We'll talk about how that's going to change our temperatures up in that 7-day forecast. For now, though, sending it over to Chelsea Davis, who's been watching our morning drive.
Thanks so much, Iris. Good morning to all of you at home. I hope you're having a great start to your day. Let's look at the roadways together. Right now, when we zoom over to the east side of town, you're going to see that all of our freeways look green so far, over here at least. The only area of slowing I'm seeing right now is State Route 347 northbound just before you get to I-10. But it's just a higher volume of traffic and you'll need less than 5 minutes at this point. So that's just a heads up there. And then also seeing something here at Greenfield Road near Inverness Avenue that there is a possible gas leak. So looking into that for you. Anywho, that's not too far from US 60, so just wanted to point it out. If you're traveling from the west side of town, you're just going to see your normal stop and go approaching Phoenix. In a few minutes, I'll show you some desert drive times.
All right, Chelsea, thank you. The big story today, more than 20,000 new vaccine appointments will soon be available at Phoenix Municipal Stadium. Registration does get underway a little later this morning at 9. Our Cameron Pullum going in depth on this vaccine rollout and has been for several months. Cameron, Arizonans need more appointments and the state is redesigning the website to make this easier to get one. Good morning.
Good morning, Kaylee. Yeah, this has been one of the biggest issues that we've heard from the public since the rollout began. The website that Arizona Department of Health Services has used for this rollout has just been a pain in the butt for so many folks who've been trying to sign up for these appointments. It just wasn't very intuitive, but that is changing today. And I want you to check out a screen grab of what this scheduling part will look like. Now, folks who've gone through this before will know exactly what I'm talking about. When you got to the scheduling portion of signing up for this appointment, you used to actually have to go back and forth and search individual dates by deleting the actual date and putting in a different date. Now this is what it will look like. You'll simply select where you want to go to, which event. So that could be State Farm, Phoenix Municipal. Today it will be Phoenix Municipal when you're signing up for one of those 21,000 appointments. It will pop up a simple calendar. You click on the calendar date and it pops up available appointments. You don't need to hope that they'll pop up. If they pop up when you select a date, those are available appointments that you can take. All you do is click on one of those select time slots and it will reveal another list of actual minute-by-minute appointments that you'll be able to select. This is a big deal because it's just so much easier to navigate and know that you're finding one of those open appointments. And that's one of our biggest complaints that we got from the community. We've been harping on the state to make sure that they get that changed. We don't know why it was laid out the way it was before, but it has been updated. So this is going to make signing up for those appointments much, much easier. I've put it on our Twitter page at ABC15. I've also got it on my Twitter page at @CPolum as well. Again, those appointments start and are available at 9 a.m. this morning for Phoenix Municipal Stadium. Anyone in the state who's in 1B priority group can go ahead and grab one of those appointments. Now, I want to warn you guys, expect delays on this because as they roll out these appointments, we know lots of people want them. So we know some of those websites do, the website does get a little bit slow in the morning. So be patient, keep at it. It should be much easier now. And I think a lot of people are going to be happy with these changes.
Well, the nice thing is that changes are being made, right? So much of this, it's uncharted territory, Cameron. So thank you for shining light on this and knowing that we've got more than 20,000 appointments available again. That is hope that we like to hear on a Wednesday morning. And we'll be getting back with you here momentarily. We do want to talk about this. The ABC15 Health Insider team offering some new in-depth coverage. Now, this takes you beyond the headlines for a better understanding of the latest medical news. It's expertise from people who know it, who see it, who study it, so that you can make the best informed decision for you and your family.
And in order to achieve this, Valley doctors and nurses are joining our team to be on call, if you will, to inform you and, of course, answer all of your questions. So since mid-December, the COVID vaccine rollout has been going on here in Arizona and around the nation, but the process has not been without problems and a growing number of questions. That's why we want to take this next hour to take action and help you navigate through this process with our ABC15 Health Insider Town Hall event. Now, we won't be able to get to all of your questions, but we make a promise to keep working every day to achieve more facts and get you more answers for you and your family. So let's begin with Dr. Piyush Gupta with Blue Cross Blue Shield of Arizona. Dr. Gupta, I want to thank you for being with us. Of course, you've been helping to volunteer and administer the vaccine. The last time I saw you was actually at State Farm Stadium last week. You were in your scrubs and getting ready to deliver the vaccine. So I want to just dive right into these questions if we can, Dr. Gupta. The first one comes from Deborah. Now, Deborah wants to know, she lives in Gilbert. She has a question. Can you be a person that's a carrier of COVID-19 even after getting both of the vaccinations? What's your opinion?
Yeah. Well, thanks, Nick. Great to see you again, and certainly in different attire today. So, Deborah, and thank you for the question. The bottom line is that we still have much to learn about the transmission of the virus after a person received the vaccine. The vaccine, as you've probably seen on video, it's injected into your deltoid muscle, and it provides a systemic immunity. But it's unknown if it provides a mucosal immunity, meaning that the virus can still potentially enter in your nasal passages, multiply, replicate, and while it doesn't get deep into your body to get those severe infections, you still might be able to spread them in theory. Dr. Mashad, epidemiologist at Hopkins, I think he actually has a great metaphor. Think of the vaccine as a security guard somewhere in the building. It's about to catch an intruder if an intruder enters the building, versus a security guard that's standing at the front door of the building and not letting anyone in. We know that the vaccines are very effective if an intruder enters the building and catching them. But what we don't know is how effective the security guard is at the front door.
I like that. It's a good analogy, I think, to really just put it in perspective for people. Dr. Gupta, next question comes from Edward. He wants to know what protection from COVID is provided by the first of the two shots, and what is the best timing for getting that second dose? What do you think?
Yeah. Well, thanks, Edward. This is a pretty frequent question that I get down at the site. Just as a reminder, the vaccine works by teaching your immune system to recognize and fight the virus from COVID-19. And this is what ultimately prevents you from getting sick. While there's some protection in about 2 weeks after your first dose, the true effectiveness really starts to develop 2 weeks after your second dose. The one thing I'll note is that it doesn't matter where you go, and it doesn't really matter what vaccine you get, just remember the brand name that you get. I think when I see people coming up to the vaccination site, everyone's very excited. There's a lot of emotions, and sometimes it might be so rushed that people might not remember the name. Remember the name, because if you get the Pfizer shot, it's 21 days is the interval between the first and second shot, and Moderna is 28 days.
Okay, so important information there that you got to keep track of. We have time for about one more question here. I wanted to ask you this one. Okay, so this next question is coming from Brian here. He says, my wife and I, he's 76, he's 85. They live in Sun City. We get our second vaccine later this month. When can we travel safely by road to visit family in Ohio? Do we still need to wear a mask and safely distance?
Yeah, Brian, this is a very thoughtful question, and I will also say it's actually a very personal question. I know that the pandemic's been hard on a lot of families and personal lives, especially trying to be close to loved ones over the past holidays. And going back to that, we still don't know how effective the vaccines are in preventing transmission. So make sure you take that into account. The other thing I'll say is that we're just in the initial stages of vaccinating our communities, and we're nowhere close to achieving herd immunity. There's still high case rates, there's still high death rates, and so it's my recommendation, along with the CDC recommendation, to not change your behavior at this time, even if you're fully vaccinated, even if you're 2 weeks after your second shot. Continue masking up, continue social distancing, continue avoiding any sort of crowds, especially if you're high risk. And again, the question that you asked me is a very personal one, and I'm sure that you and your family took a lot of time to kind of do the pros and cons, risk versus benefits to stay away from them. And my advice to you would be to keep following in accordance with your decision. Maybe revisit it when case rates start going down and death rates start going down. But at this time, my advice would be to continue on with that behavior.
Yeah, Dr. Gupta, that's the point of our ABC15 Health Insider Town Hall event, is to give our viewers this information and these facts so that they can make the best decisions for them and their families. Dr. Gupta, as always, I want to thank you for waking up early with us. We appreciate all your insight into these important questions. Thank you. And we're not done answering your questions yet about the COVID vaccine. As part of this ABC15 Health Insider Town Hall event coming up, Cameron Pullum is back. He's going to join us live to talk specifically about the process of getting a vaccine and the tips and tricks you need to know about before you go on and schedule. Stay with us. We're back after this.
Well, time now for that most accurate forecast after a record-tying warm day yesterday. Today's still going to be pretty warm, but we've got a cold front coming, and that cold front is going to drop those temperatures as it brings in some cooler air, and it's going to crank up the winds, too, across the state today. So we tied the record high yesterday of 82 degrees. Today, we'll be just shy of 80. So again, still pretty warm with a high of 79, but it's going to be warm and breezy. And this morning, we're starting out with mostly cloudy conditions, but those clouds will break up as we go through the day today, and we'll see partly cloudy conditions for much of the day. And then look at how much cooler it's going to be behind that cold front that swings in tonight. Of 71, then upper 60s by Friday, which is closer to the normal for this time of year. So I mentioned the clouds. We're waking up to a lot of them in central and southeast Arizona, and believe it or not, some of these clouds are managing to squeeze out some very light showers in the North Valley, essentially north of the I-10 and the Loop 202 in spots like central Phoenix and in northeast Scottsdale, and then of course up near our foothills too. They're quickly pushing to the northeast, and after this little batch of sprinkles and very light showers clears out, I don't expect much for the rest of the day. So it'll be a drier day, and by tonight that cold front swings in, and you're going to see futurecasts. No rain for the valley with it, no high country snow, at least minimal high country snow chances, just a 10% chance in spots like Flagstaff. Again, this cold front will be dry for most of us, but winds will crank up. As I mentioned, we've got wind advisories in northern Arizona with gusts as high as 40 to 50 miles an hour, and here in the valley it'll be breezy with gusts as high as about 20 to 25 miles an hour. A high of 79 today, then temperatures drop through the end of the week, and we've got a nice weekend ahead.
All right, Iris, thank you very much. Well, we are helping you fully understand the latest medical news and all that is surrounding the fight against the pandemic. And that is our promise to you with the ABC15 Health Insiders. This morning, we are focused on the vaccine rollout, and our Cameron Pullum is continuing to deliver in-depth coverage since the coronavirus was first reported here in Arizona a little more than a year ago now. So Cameron, we know that you have been in this for all of this time, and we do want to get to more of our community questions. So many of you writing in to ask, and we begin with Carol Job from Phoenix. She says, I have a first vaccination set for February 10th at State Farm Stadium. How do I go about getting my second vaccination scheduled in the 21 days for Pfizer or the 28 days for Moderna as required?
Well, Carol, I'm so glad that you got that appointment. That's the first step of a couple steps you're going to take here. The great thing about the State Farm Stadium, as well as Phoenix Municipal, both state-run sites, is that before you leave the appointment, so you're going to show up, you're going to go through the authorization part, you're going to get the vaccine, and then when you pull up to wait your 15 minutes where you're observed by medical professionals, they're going to actually schedule you for your second appointment right there on site. So they're going to have an iPad, they'll pull it up, they'll help you decide on what date and time works best for you for your second appointment. And you'll actually have that appointment. You'll have a screenshot of that appointment before you leave the site. So you'll have that peace of mind before you leave that you know that second dose is scheduled, that it's scheduled on time. And clearly, if you're going to State Farm or Phoenix Municipal, you'll be getting the Pfizer vaccine. That also will be given out at all the Maricopa County pod sites. They're only using the Pfizer vaccine at those drive-through locations. So that's the one you'll get, and they'll schedule you for that second appointment before you leave.
Okay, Cameron, you mentioned peace of mind. We also want to offer peace of mind again for folks who are waking up. Susan's doing a great job with this question. She's from Phoenix, and she says, do you have any information as to how the website scheduling will work, or if there are any useful tips that you can offer to successfully schedule an appointment, which is so timely because we have an update on this morning.
Yeah, Susan, this is great news for you because today we've got 21,000 appointments available starting at 9 a.m. So you're going to want to go on azdhs.gov/find-vaccine, and that will take you to a map that will show locations. You can look up locations for counties and state locations. Today, you're going to want to look up Phoenix Municipal Stadium. So when you actually get on the state website, it'll have you set up a username and password. You'll use that to log into what is your personal dashboard. Basically, from there, it's pretty self-explanatory. It's going to say your first click is going to be find a vaccination, and you'll select COVID-19. And then it will take you to a series of questionnaires that are pretty simple. And today, we've actually got a major update to our website. We've had some finicky issues with the scheduling portion of this website. Now we've got a whole new look to this. It's a very simple way to find your location. You're simply going to click on the Phoenix Municipal location. It'll pop up a calendar. Click on the calendar of dates, any date you like, and it'll reveal the available appointments. So this is much more user-friendly for folks, and I have a feeling a lot of people are going to find this very easy to use today. The biggest issue is how slow will this website work? We know a lot of people are going to go after these appointments, so we know it's going to be slow at first, but don't get discouraged. Continue to look for those appointments. Even if you get to the very end and you're about to submit your appointment, somebody else might have taken that appointment and it might kick you back to the appointment scheduling. So just know that there are going to be some issues, but keep at it, and I'm sure you're going to get an appointment today.
Yeah, we got to just breathe through this together. I mean, imagine the innovators trying to work through this as well, right? Okay, this one's from Bob Jacobius from Fountain Hills, and he says, I'm 67 years old with underlying health conditions and have been unable to get a vaccine appointment. When will appointments realistically open up to many more people in Arizona?
Oh, well, here's the great part is that you are already in the population that we're vaccinating right now. A couple weeks ago, the state did open up vaccinations to 65 and older. Now, not every county is able to do that group right now, but state-run sites like Phoenix Municipal that are opening up those 21,000 appointments at 9 a.m. this morning, you are eligible to get a vaccine in that group. Now, as far as other groups, extended groups like those with health conditions that are under 65 and essential workers, we're going to start to see them move into that kind of group, most likely in March. End of March, we're really going to start to move into the 1C group of essential workers and those who have underlying health conditions. We know the federal government has committed to 200 million doses across the United States manufactured in the next 2 months. We're going to see that rolling out weekly at a 10.5 million allocation rate across the country every single week. So we should be getting more vaccine pretty quickly, and that's going to open up not only more people into this process, but it's going to open up more locations that are more convenient for you to go to, like pharmacies, doctor's offices, things like that. We're going to continue to keep you up to date. I always update my Twitter on these things, so when appointments come available, go to @CPolum, @CPolum on Twitter. I'm always updating there on when appointments are available, how to get them, tips, tricks, everything you need to know. Go there, find them. I'll keep you updated throughout this process.
All right. I love that visual prop, too. Thank you so much, our Cameron Pullum. All over this morning. We appreciate your time. Nick?
Yeah, he certainly is our all-star when it comes to all this. Cameron, thank you. Hey, coming up, we answer more of the questions you submitted, like when is it safe to fly? Should it be after the first dose, the second dose, or could you travel right now? Plus, being a better parent during the pandemic. We'll talk about a new campaign called Dedication, helping men be there for children during these uncertain times. 25 parents, it's not easy, but a pandemic that has lasted for almost a year, not making it any simpler. New this morning, a campaign to get dads more involved. Mark Thompson joining us now. Mark, this is all about celebrating fatherhood.
Yeah, good morning to you, Nick. And dads, we know you've got to put in that time at work, but the goal of this campaign is really simple. Dads, take just a little bit of time away from the daily grind to spend more time with your children and become more actively involved in their lives. It's got a cool, catchy name, too. It's called Dedication, and it features a set of public service announcements really geared towards celebrating dads. Now, these ads come from Fathers Incorporated. That's an organization, and we spoke with the man who manages that organization and says that dads are home now more than ever, and he encourages them using this pandemic as a time to strengthen the relationships with the children.
Slow down, savor the moment. I said it earlier this morning. Don't miss a minute because you might miss a moment. And so you don't want to miss those moments in the lives of your children.
Yes, so very important. That was Patrick Patterson. He's the founder of Fathers Incorporated. He has 2 sons of his own, and he used to travel a lot for work, but he now has been home due to COVID quarantine, and he's got a better bond with his kids as a result of it. The campaign encourages dads to share more of their stories on social media using the hashtag Dedication. Now, traditionally, moms have done a better job of reaching out to others for help and advice, but he's trying to change that.
Watching my wife, she has all these forums and friends that she goes to, and she can always ask them questions. Whereas guys, it's like if you're lost, you keep looking for how to find your way yourself.
Now, the ad campaign has now partnered with the Ad Council, and the goal here is just to remind dads and reinforce that there is no right way to be a dad. There's no rule book out there, but the most important thing is just to take some time away from work and spend that time really connecting with your children. Reporting live this morning, Mark Thompson, ABC 15, Arizona. Back to you.
Yes, without the cell phone in hand, right? They are noticing these things. It's true. Yeah. Mark, thank you. Up next, we continue our ABC 15 Health Insider Town Hall focused on COVID vaccines. Soon, they will be coming to your local pharmacy in hopes of making it easier to get a shot.